Welcome to the Ambient iPad. In this video, it's Mellotron sound-on-sound looping, Frippertronics style, with the Boss RE-202 Space Echo in long delay mode. Why do I say Frippertronics style? Because typically I have the settings so that the sound degrades and the volume goes down as slow as possible, really pushing up against self-oscillation. But for this jam, I'm going to just lower that a little so the loops degrade much quicker, and I'll be building up other loops again 3 by 3 by 3. So we've got 3 parts of this jam. Within each of those 3 parts, I'll be using 1 sound and 3 sounds within that. So for instance, part 1 will probably be strings, so I'll use 3 different string sounds. Part 2 will be choirs. I'll use 3 different choir sounds. And then part 3 will be woodwinds with 3 different woodwind sounds. I'll do some soloing over parts of those as well. So let's see where we end up here. The signal chain is the Mellotron M4000D Mini. Its master mono analog output goes into the Boss RE-202 Space Echo. The stereo output from the Space Echo goes into a Universal Audio Volt 276 interface that communicates back and forth with the iPad Pro. I'm recording into GarageBand, but I'm not using it as a digital audio workstation, but merely as a tape recorder, so to speak. You need to get the Boss into long delay mode to do sound-on-sound looping or Frippertronics. To do that, I've got a link down below in the description to a video where I just walk through that briefly. Check the online manual. I believe it's page 15. Once you get it in long delay mode, what I recommend is you have to tap to get the delay time. So I would put this on head 1, tap out a 2-second delay, then change it to head 3, and that'll give you the maximum 6 seconds delay. Once you have all the knobs set up, I also recommend putting it into one of the memories so you always have a baseline to do that sound-on-sound looping. So I'm going to be using mainly sounds from the Mellotron M400. We'll move from strings to choirs to woodwinds. Let me demonstrate some of those sounds. And to do that, I'm also going to have just a delay on here. I use this mainly as a sound-on-sound machine, but let's hear the delay as well. So how this is going to work is it'll be in 3 parts. We'll start with the strings. And again, as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm really centering this around 3 notes, B flat, D, and F, and other notes around that within the scale. So we'll lay out a few of the string sounds, maybe do some soloing over that. Then I'll move into choir sounds, and then we'll move into the woodwinds and do a solo over the woodwinds as well. So let me just quickly run through the sounds here. We've got viola. Hear the delay there. We got a violin solo. Yep, a wrong note. And finally, the cello. And once that loop's going, do some 16 violins. Then as that loop's fading, we'll start adding in the choirs. Here's female choir. Male choir. And then some boys choir. No soloing over that. Once that is built up and starts to fade, I'll then move over to the woodwinds. Let me get this into the solo position, which is the bass flute. All right, and we'll start the loop with some oboe. English horn for just some slight tonal variation. And finally, some bassoon. I love working the bassoon in. Always reminds me of Henry Cow. And then once that loop's going, we'll just do some bass flute soloing over that. And then I'll just let the loop fade. Let me do a quick loop demonstration. I'll just kind of walk through a bunch of the different groups as opposed to staying within the strings, to the choirs, to the woodwinds, just so we can hear what this sounds like. So let me get this over to number 4, which is where I have it. Turn it on here, turn the intensity down a little like we're gonna do, so that, again, usually I have the intensity at like 130, really pushing up self-oscillation so that the volume decreases and the sound degrades as slowly as possible. But for this jam, I do want things to fade out a little more, which is why I'm kind of saying it's more Frippertronics. All right, so let's just build up this little loop here. Choir sound. All right, let's get one of the woodwinds. Well, we have the flute. All right, let's then disengage the loop recording, and we can just solo at that point without it being captured as part of the loop. Now I'm using the volume pedal because the loop is going down in volume and degrading, so it's easy to overpower it. All right, you get the idea. Again, be going much slower through the 3 parts, and we'll get some soloing going over those loops. Let me reset everything here, reposition the camera slightly, and I will do the jam. I have a lot of fun with these jams. It was nice to do one where I wasn't as concerned about does it fade out too quick, is it fading out too slow. I just kind of moved the knob a little and just had it fade out. Lets you kind of just keep, you could really go on forever, right? You can just have a loop fade and then build a new one up, disengage it, do some soloing, build up some other loops. When I do this type of looping live, I've done hour, 90-minute performances where I never stop. You just go from one loop to another. While a loop's going, that gives you the opportunity to change some of the sounds around, change some of the effects or some of the settings, and you really can just build this evolving soundscape that could go on forever, as long as you want it to. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and good luck with your own music.